Well, good afternoon and welcome. It is good to see Nighthawk Nation here tonight. It's a great day to be a Nighthawk. Everybody agree? Yes, sir. Absolutely. So today marks another step forward in a story we're writing together here at the University of North Georgia. A story where athletics is just not a point of pride, but a powerful platform for developing leaders of character and building community. As one of our university's strategic big bets, we are investing in athletic excellence because we believe in its transformative potential and its transformative power. Transformative for our student athletes, transformative for our fans, and transformative for the communities we serve across our great region. Athletics elevates our brand. It engages our students in our North Georgia community and far beyond, as was the case this year, where as we traveled the country, the Nighthawk Nation pride was in full force. And finally, athletics builds champions both on and off the field. And I'm so incredibly proud as we graduate student athletes and they go on to do amazing things here in Georgia and beyond. This spring athletic season is a testament to our commitment, where we saw 6 of our teams compete in NCAA regional championships. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the only school in NCAA Division II that competed in 6 championships in those sports. So think about that. In those sports that we competed in, we were the only school in the country to be able to do that. Very impressive. And 4 of those teams moved on to the NCAA national championships. Many of them competing nearly till the end. Very proud of competing at the highest level and among the best teams in America. And I'm very proud that we brought home a national champion in men's golf. So ladies and gentlemen, to say we are fully committed to delivering the best NCAA Division II athletics program in America is an understatement. I urge you to come see what North Georgia is doing. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on the move. So today we build on that momentum with a powerhouse hire in our baseball program. I'm incredibly pleased and fired up to welcome Nolan Belcher as the new head baseball coach here at North Georgia. Nolan is someone who understands what it means to compete at a high level and to lead with integrity. He brings a winning mindset, a clear vision, and the kind of purpose-driven approach that aligns with everything we're building here at North Georgia. We're also proud to welcome your amazing wife, Rachel. My oldest daughter is named Rachel, so I know I'm going to like Rachel already. And their incredible children, Brooks and Anna Grace, to our Nighthawk family and here to Dahlonega. Coach Belcher, thank you for saying yes.
Absolutely.
We believe in where this program is headed, and we're excited to watch you lead it there. Welcome, Coach, to North Georgia. So with that, I'm honored to now turn it over to the best athletic director in America, full stop, period, exclamation point, Mary Robb. Mary Robb, introduce us to our coach.
Thank you, Dr. Shannon, and good afternoon, everyone. This is an exciting day for North Georgia baseball and for our entire North Georgia Nighthawk family. It's my privilege to officially introduce Nolan Belcher as the next head baseball coach at the University of North Georgia. It's official.
Official. There we go.
From the very beginning of this search, we had a clear goal: to find a leader who could elevate our program, align with our values, and pursue championships on the national stage. We set the bar high, and Coach Belcher met it at every turn. He's a proven winner, a player in the SEC, a national champion twice, and as a coach right here in the Beach Belt. He's built programs, developed talent, and earned the respect of those around him. And what he accomplished as a head coach speaks volumes about his leadership, work ethic, and ability to bring the best out of his teams. But beyond the numbers, what stood out most about how Coach Belcher leads is he's grounded, he's focused, and he's all in on building a culture that develops student athletes on and off the field. This isn't just about baseball. It's part of a broader commitment to build one of the most competitive, value-added Division II athletic programs in the country, full stop. Coach Belcher is going to play a key role in that journey, and I'm thrilled he's joining us in Delamio. Please join me in welcoming the new head coach of North Georgia Baseball, Nolan Belcher. Coach.
Let's do it. Thank you, Dr. Shannon and Mary Robb, for that introduction, and thank you all for being here today. It means a great deal to me and my family. First, I want to thank the University of North Georgia for the opportunity to lead this program. It's an incredible honor, and I don't take it lightly. I also want to acknowledge the coaches, alumni, and players who've come before me. This program has a proud tradition and a strong foundation, and I have deep respect for that history. But I didn't come here to keep things where they are. I came here to move this program forward. My vision is clear. I want North Georgia to be a destination in Division II baseball, part of an athletics department that's building one of the most respected and competitive environments in the country. That takes more than wins. It takes culture, it takes leadership, and it takes a standard that every student athlete across every sport can rise and meet. When recruits think about where they want to compete, grow, and lead, I want Dahlonega to be at the top of that list. We're going to do things the right way, and every day we will show up with energy, with purpose, and with a mindset that expects excellence in everything that we do. That work starts now. I can't wait to get on the field with our guys and begin building something special together, not just for baseball, but for Nighthawk athletics as a whole. Thank you again. I'm proud to be a Nighthawk, and let's get to work.
Nolan, I'll start. What about this opportunity at UNG was right for you, and why now?
It's perfect alignment from the president down to Mary Robb, and when it fits what I'm looking for, I had to pursue it. There was no question about it. I want to be surrounded by great people who are like-minded, who want to achieve at the highest level and do it the right way.
As mentioned earlier, several PhD programs have won at the national level here, even as recently as just a few weeks ago. Can you talk about how much that championship energy influenced this decision to come here?
Yes, I want to be around the best, and up and down this athletic, up and down this university, there's great people doing great things, and I want to be surrounded by that. I want to be a part of that, and I want to add value to an athletic department who's already doing great things. And I think I can do that. I know I can do that, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity.
Coach, North Georgia baseball obviously had one of its better years in recent history last season. What does it mean to you, and what are the advantages of taking over a program that's kind of on an upward rise already when you get here?
It's a good opportunity to continue that momentum. From a recruiting standpoint, kids want to go to a baseball program that's had success, and the University of North Georgia has had an extremely large amount of success. And it's always good to have an opportunity to take over a program that is on the rise and doing great things and coming off a successful season like that.
Can you talk a little bit about what excites you about stepping in the clubhouse with this big group of guys and addressing your team? And I obviously can't tell us everything you're telling, but just sort of what's that like to get in there with this group of guys and get started on the work you're talking about?
I'm looking forward to sitting down with those guys and looking each one of them in the eye and seeing a room full of guys who are committed and have a vision similar to what I'm looking for. And we'll be able to build that. There's plenty of players coming back who've done some great things. We will continue to build on that throughout the summer, and just looking forward to August and getting back to work.
Coach, you're from Augusta. You played in South Carolina, coached there as well, and obviously coached here in the state of Georgia. What about this community and this area excites you in taking over this program?
From a family standpoint, it's just a perfect opportunity for my wife Rachel and my son Brooks and my daughter Anna just to raise a family. On top of that, from a baseball standpoint, the opportunity to recruit some of the best players in the country, which is within the state of Georgia, is incredible. The opportunity there is endless. You're an hour down the road from Atlanta, which is, one of the meccas of recruiting in college or high school baseball players in the country. So being that close to that is a very, very exciting opportunity.
Can you talk about your experience as a player in college and the success you were able to have and the credibility that gives you talking to the kids coming up to that?
Yeah, I was on some good teams, wasn't I? Very fortunate. Dating back to my high school days, I was on a lot of quality teams that was able to win some state championships. And moving on to South Carolina, I was able to be a part of some programs that won national championships. And it's a very positive experience because I've seen what it looks like. I know what it takes. I know the mentality that it takes. I know the type of player and person that it takes within a program to get to that level and have that type of success, which benefits me now as a coach because I've seen it. I've seen it, and I think we can build that here with no doubt in my mind.
Coach, in a few years from now, when people think of North Georgia baseball under Nolan Belcher, what do you want them to think of?
I want them to think that it's the most dominant baseball program in the country who does it the right way with the right people.
I know you played for Coach Tanner and Coach Holbrook, and I know you worked Coach Holbrook as well, and of course you worked with some others. But what are some of the things that you feel like you picked up from some of these coaches that help you as you go about your job today?
How much time do we have?
Well,
Again, been very fortunate throughout my career to learn from some of the all-time greats in college baseball. Was able to play for Coach Tanner, played for Coach Holbrook, got to work for Coach Holbrook at the College of Charleston, dating back to my time with Kenny Thomas, Jason Eller. So I've been very, very fortunate from some of the best. And throughout those experiences, you just take a little bit here, a little bit there. Some things that you like, some things you might not would do yourself. But all 4 or 5 of those guys are very unique in their own way. And I think I've been able to benefit from my experiences either playing for them or working for them. And I think it has helped me today and turned me into the type of coach I am today.
Coach, it sounds like this wasn't a job that you were pulled to, but one that you pursued. I'm wondering, in the process of everything that you went through and getting hired here, what was the convincing moment? When did you tell yourself, I have to take this job if I get offered?
When was the convincing moment?
Yeah.
Right when Mary Rob offered me the job. There was nothing to think about. At least personally, this is a destination type place, from the university to the campus to the community to the baseball program to the entire athletic department as a whole. It's a destination. This is not a pit stop. This is not a backup plan. This is the spot that you want to be at as a coach, as a player, and as a student. And our current players might not realize that at the moment. Future recruits might not realize that at the moment. But soon, they will all realize that this is a destination, and this is one of the best spots in the entire country.
Brandon, let me add to that, because I got to see it from a different angle. Maybe Mary Rob, you want to add too.
I don't know.
We had overwhelming interest in this assignment, in this coaching position, and I was blown away at the pedigree. Nolan, you beat out a lot of very, very impressive baseball people from around the country. The list was long and distinguished, and we didn't have to go far. We had to go to Milledgeville. But clearly the interest shows that our vision is working, and what Nolan is saying is true. People want to come here, and we're talking at the highest levels of college baseball, Division I coaches to all the way across the board. So I was very impressed with that, and we didn't have to go recruit. We didn't go search. We didn't hire a search firm. This was just no kidding, interest across the board and very impressed. And then when we got to meet this guy, first time I saw this guy was on a screen, and I'm like, I want to meet this guy. And it was very clear to me when he got in the room with us who he is, where he's come from, that he's done it at the highest level himself. And I think that's very important. He can look a player in the eye, these players here today, future players, and say, I've done it at the highest levels of college baseball. And by the way, I've been fortunate enough to be on teams that have actually won it all. Not once, not twice, and almost 3 times. I'm sure that's a long story.
It's a touchy subject.
That's a touchy subject.
Don't talk about that.
But almost 3 times in a row. And I mean, that's a pretty unprecedented. So to look at that and then look at what Nolan's done as a coach, what his family believes in, what he's about. We checked you out, Nolan. I made some calls to Augusta. You're a legend in Augusta, Nolan, for all the right reasons, by the way,
good.
for all the right reasons. And so it was very clear to us as we went through this process who our next head baseball coach was. And we were glad you said yes. So, and I don't know if you want to expand on that, Mayor Rob, but that's my take on this.
Yeah, have no doubt in your mind that we got the best coach in the entire country to join us in Dahlonega. It's no secret. Growing up in Augusta, you would open the front page of the sports section, and Nolan Belcher was on the front page in the spring for what he was doing at Greenbrier High School. And then he went off to South Carolina, he was still on the front page for winning national championships. And growing up, we're similar in those tracks. And then with Nolan moving back Peach Belt, or moving into the Peach Belt, and his proven success, the way he's always handled himself, whether it was a volunteer assistant coach and then taking the reins in Milledgeville. He's a familiar name, but he's an up-and-comer. As I talked to Wendell, and I said, I intend to offer the job to Nolan Belcher out of courtesy, wanted to have that conversation. He said, you will not find a finer human, you will not find a better leader, a clubhouse leader, and he's a winner. He won't tell you about his national championships. I said, I can attest to that. He did not. I had to pull it out, and I already knew it. But when you hear that from the place that he's coming from and their boss, you know that you've hit a home run, and there was no one else. Even though we had a lot of stiff competition, you continuously, it was a yes every step of the way. And Brennan, we couldn't have hired somebody better, and to say yes. One of the easiest phone calls I've had to make, even if I did pull him and his wife out of lunch in Athens to do that. It's been a privilege, and I can't get to know Nolan even better and see what he does with our young men. And thank y'all for being here too. It means a lot.
Yeah, it does. To have student athletes here in the summer means a lot. So, guys, I appreciate it.
We've got time for 2 more questions. Yeah. I know, obviously, people usually focus in on the accomplishments of the highlights and the things that we all like to focus on. But is there been a moment, because baseball is a game of ups and downs, sometimes even more downs. 300 hitters are Hall of Famers. Can you talk about if there was a moment as a player or coach that you feel like was a real difficult moment that has sort of shaped you and has sort of helped you turn into what you are today?
Yeah, I think you can look back as far as any adversity or challenge you faced as a player. I had a very up and down career as a player. It wasn't all glitz and glamour. Had some many challenges, some injuries, worked through that. I think any college coach will tell you when they first start coaching, the financial stuff's a little challenging early on. I remember working, trying to survive, trying to make enough money to eat, and then you just kind of work through all that stuff, and you do everything in college baseball, right? You rake the field, you drag the field, you cut, you're doing laundry, you're scrubbing stains off of a player's pants, and it's not all the big lights and shining moments. And I think throughout my time coaching, just all those years of putting in the work and dealing with the ups and downs, dealing with COVID, which was very challenging for myself and my family on many fronts, and just getting through that on the other side and having the opportunity to coach at the University of North Georgia at this moment just kind of brings it all together for me.
Coach, obviously a lot of the conversation today has been about your national championships at South Carolina as a player. I'm wondering if you remember anything from those runs, whether it was witnessing from your coach or just your experience as a player. What do you remember from those about what it takes to win a national championship and how you've instilled that into your coaching philosophy and plan to do that here?
Yeah, leadership from players. Leadership from players. That's probably the biggest thing I can look back on those national championship runs. We had great leadership at the top with Coach Tanner. But at the end of the day, if your players are not leading, you have no shot. You have no shot. And obviously, there's other things that go along with that. You have to have some talented players. You have to catch some breaks. But it all starts with the leadership within that house. And I know this program has that, and I'm looking forward to building on it.
This time we're going to have a photo opportunity with President Shannon, Mary Robb, and Coach Belcher, and then we'll kind of end the program and let everybody have some one-on-one touch points with an individual.
All right, it's our honor to reveal this one for the first time. Coach Belcher will wear number 15 while he suits up for the Nighthawks.
Thank you for that, Coach. Appreciate it. This is pretty sweet, huh?
You like that?
Heck yeah.